test and see if they'll actually work. Let's get ready. I'll fire this puppy off. 1. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome back to your career cage and welcome back to a new episode. In this episode, we're going to be continuing last episode and finishing this little rocket that I made. You know, cheap little easy rocket I made. All we gotta do is try to figure out a way that I want to paint it and drill a hole in it. And then we can maybe play around with the igniters that I have to build for this thing. And yeah, we'll go from there. Anyway, this video is a continuation of the last video, so let's go ahead and jump right into some time lapses of me making this thing as you see it right now. There were some bits that I kind of had to cut out to make it shorter for the other video, so yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with this thing. Alright guys, well, this thing is more or less complete. All I gotta do is paint it and drill a hole in the bottom for igniter. And I was planning on trying to put a little bit of a paper or tape or cardboard form around it and making this nozzle plug a little bit taller just so I can make a little bit of a convergent diverging nozzle, except for there won't be a converging, it'll just be a diverging nozzle. And I did put some UV resin here on the trailing edges right here, or the leading edges, so I can shape them a little bit and they're not just blunt cardboard. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into shaping this and maybe sanding the body some more in preparation for the paint. And yeah, I'll be back with you guys when I'm ready to paint this thing. Let's get after it. Alright everyone, well, I have sanded this thing and clear coated it with some super glue, and I decided to put this little bit of a spacer on this. Not really a spacer, but an extra little bit of a nozzle on it. This is another 1/2 inch that I decided to put on there just so I can make that cone nozzle and everything, one side of it anyway. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the sun, and there was a few bubbles in this, but it's on the sides, so I'm not too worried about it, especially since that main plug inside, I made sure that was really good. Anyway, let me go ahead and put this in the sunlight for that good UV light. I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready to paint this thing. Let's get after it. Alright everybody, this thing has been sanded and cleaned up. Got that bottom all nice and sanded. Now it's time for the paint theme. Basically, I was wanting, since this is for 4th of July, I was wanting to paint this red, white, and blue, but I can't find my white. So I'm just going to do like a general theme. I was going to do the body in a blue color. Then I was going to make the nose cone this neon chartreuse kind of color. And then for the fins, I was going to paint them this kind of goldish, glittery fingernail polish to hopefully try to find this thing once it's done. And since I added this little extra piece right here, I might paint that something different, but who knows. Let's just go ahead and start painting. I'll put you on the tripod and we'll get ready for another time lapse. Let's get after it. Alright everyone, well, this is the more or less finished paint job. I might go ahead and do a couple more coats of this gold fingernail polish, just because it is a little bit thin in some spots, and I decided to do a little bit of a design on it since it was looking a little bland. But yeah, this thing is basically ready for a clear coat now. So yeah, let me go ahead and clear coat this, and then I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready to play with trying to make some igniters. I got a few ideas of how to do it, since those other ones weren't really working unless I had a lot of house power and stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ready to clear coat this. I won't show you guys that since that's boring. And then I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready to make, or try to make, those igniters. Anyway, let's get after it. Alright everybody, this is the setup I was going to do for the igniters. I'm going to test this design out that I found from Element Maker. Basically, there's one single fine wire wrapped around it and crimped at the end. And everybody I could see, they used Scotch tape to do this, but I don't got none, so I'm just using electrical tape. Hopefully it doesn't hinder it at all. I'm going to put some of this ground up match heads, a line of them right there, and then I was going to just wrap it up, and hopefully that will work. Anyway, let me go ahead and make this first one and test and see if they will actually work. Alright everybody, I got wired up to my quad plug, and we'll turn this quad on and see if that igniter actually works. Then I'll tell you about the other problem I've been having with this. Anyway, let's do it. Testing the igniter in 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, it lit off, but it didn't explode. I guess that electrical tape is too stiff. Anyway, let me try to figure out one of these that will actually work, and I'll get back with you. Alright everybody, this is a little bit of a different design. This is basically just the end of a pipette that I took and heat sealed the end, and it's full of that match powder, and I found a shotgun shell that I took the gunpowder out of. See if this works any better. Testing the igniter in 3, 2, 1. Well, it definitely shot out some fire out the end. Wasn't really that long of a burn. Let me play around with something else, and we'll get back to you. Alright everybody, here's a little bit of a different setup. Basically same thing of match heads and gunpowder mixed up, and this time I used paper towel or a shop towel, just because I think maybe those other casings were a little bit too tough. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ready to test this thing. 3, 2. Ooh, that was kind of nice. That was actually pretty nice. I kind of want a little puff of smoke, kind of like that, a puff of fire like that happen. Let me go ahead and try a couple more ideas I have, and I'll get back with you. Well everyone, this is basically the same thing, except this time I got a little bit of the powderized rocket fuel in there to maybe hopefully make it a little bit spicier. Let's go ahead and test this thing in 3, 2, 1. I mean, it kind of works, but the other one was a little bit better. I don't know, let me go ahead and take a break from this and maybe find something a little bit different to do with this thing. Anyway, I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Okay everyone, well, after watching a couple of videos, I came up with a design from a couple other people. Now I got 4 different mixtures going on here. This one is the one that you guys seen before. It's the mix of all 3, the match heads, gunpowder, and the rocket fuel. This one here is just the match heads. This one here is just the gunpowder. And this one here is just the potassium nitrate sugar rocket fuel mix. Anyway, let me go ahead and set up this camera. Let's see if these igniters work the way I hope so. Testing the tri-mix igniter. 3, 2, 1. Well, that one definitely exploded. It exploded right in my face, so sorry if I jumped. Anyway, let's go ahead and hook up the other one. I do believe this is the match heads only mixture. In 3, 2, 1. Well, that one came out of the tape right there. That one might have been better, but it's kind of my construction's fault, most likely. Anyway, let's set up the gunpowder only mix. Gunpowder only test in 3, 2, 1. Wow, that one came out the bottom. Well, that one came right out the bottom. It came out this tape right here. Maybe more of my construction failure. Anyway, let's test the potassium nitrate sugar mix igniter next. Well, this is the potassium nitrate sugar mix igniter, and this one I got filled up a little bit more, so it's not exactly testing the same thing, but same construction. Anyway, testing in 3, 2, oh. forgot to turn the switch off. That one worked probably about the better one. Let me think about this for a minute and come back at you guys with, a result. Alright everyone, well, after a lot of off-camera testing of these little igniters, I just decided to do a real simple design and a real simple mixture that's based off of the Estes E-matches and stuff. And the Estes E-matches, they barely put out any fire at all, so I'm pretty sure these would be fine. The only problem is when I went to make these things, I didn't really think about the size of them. These little igniters I made is a little bit over 1/4 inch, so I'm going to have to drill a 1/4 inch hole. I was wanting to do a 7/15 of an inch hole that's just under 1/4 inch, but I think 1/4 inch would be a nice good round number, and it also would prevent a lot of pressures inside that thing might blow up like the first test I did. Anyway, so first of all, I already got the rocket marked on the bottom, if you guys can see that. So I got me a 1/4 inch drill bit, and then to make it a little bit more of a nozzle design, I got this chisel thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's got a nice taper to it. Even though I know rocket nozzles are supposed to be just a straight taper or like a bell shape, I'm gonna go ahead and play around with this. It's like a deburring tool. It's a countersink. I was going to use this at the very end to hopefully, maybe make it a little bit different of a nozzle. Make it have a flare out at the end. Anyway, let's go ahead and start drilling holes, and then I can put the igniter in it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this video out before 4th of July, because 4th of July is like 4 or 5 days away, and there's supposed to be rain the next like 2 or 3 days. So this video might be coming out after 4th of July, but yeah, we'll do what we can. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started putting the hole in the rocket. Yeah, and then we can start thinking about lighting this thing off. Let's get to work. Let's try to get this as straight as possible. Alright everyone, well, I wasn't able to get this hole perfectly centered. Hopefully that won't affect it too much. I know it won't fly completely straight, but hopefully it doesn't affect it too much. Looking down inside of it, I was able to see that there was a little bit of there's still some powderized material in there, which tells me I didn't get packed down enough. I was kind of scared of packing it too hard because this is a cardboard tube, but the next rockets I build will be out of PVC, so I'll be able to pack those down as tight as possible. That and these igniters I made won't go all the way in there, so I'm gonna have to build some new igniters that's a little skinnier. Anyway, this is basically done. I just need to get ready to fire this thing off. I already got the launch pad set up and everything else. So I guess the next clip you'll see is me heading out into the desert on the quad and the new dirt bike that I got. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, go check that video out. Let's go ahead and get ready to fire this thing off if the weather will cooperate, and hopefully it will. Anyway, let's get ready. I'll fire this puppy off. Well everyone, I am here in the desert, hunkering behind the quad, away from the wind. I'm about ready to set this rocket off. Just a preemptive thing. Sorry for the wind noise. It is really windy right now. So excuse the audio if you don't really hear me or this rocket shooting off. That's enough yapping. Let's go ahead and get ready to launch this thing off. Alright, time to light this candle off. Now, with that cavity inside of there, this thing is either going to go or it's going to blow. Let's go ahead and get ready to launch this thing. Hopefully it don't blow up in my face. Got my little action cam recording at 120 frames a second. Let's get ready to launch this thing off. Firing your rocket in 3, 2, 1. Well, That thing didn't go up almost at all. This thing's still smoking over here. It's pretty hot in there. At least I get to keep my rocket. Too bad it's not really reusable. I can only reuse that little bullet shell and everything. Well, it did go, just not that great. Yeah, there's a bunch of unburnt fuel here. It's really powdery. I was really hoping for something better. Maybe I can cut the end off, repack it, glue a new nozzle on it, and retry it. That really sucked. Well, everybody, I got away from the wind and the trees after that little failure. I don't like how I failed that badly on my first rocket. So, before this episode ends, I'm just going to quickly remake that little thing. And I'll meet you guys back out here. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. And we're back here. So, yeah, let me go ahead and turn you guys around. I got a little sneak peek over there or something else. Anyway, let's turn you guys around and we'll tell you how everything is set up. Well, everybody, this is basically the exact same setup I had before. Although, when I was remaking this thing, I was trying to pack it down as best as I could, and it ended up splitting up there, so I stabilized it with some super glue. Hopefully this thing doesn't blow up from the top this time, but either way, we're going to film it. And I made a little mini PVC pipe one right here. It looks kind of like a pipe bomb, but it has a hole in it. Yeah, this is just a quick little easy one, and testing out a little nozzle disc idea that I seen somebody else had. So if that big one don't work, that one most likely should. So we'll get something out of this episode. Anyway, the sun is very fastly going down. So let's go ahead and fire 2 of these puppies off this time. Anyway, let's get at it. Okay, gonna be exactly like last time. Let's turn this thing on. Hopefully that igniter works. And then 3, 2, 1. Well, it blew up. Holy cow. I could hear pieces raining down all down over there. Let me go see if I can find some pieces real quick, because that absolutely blew up. Hopefully I got it on camera. Well, guys, those are the only 2 pieces I could find. That thing flew right overhead and basically blew up right over my head, so yeah, those are the only 2 pieces I could find. I'll imagine I won't be able to find any more. I forgot to turn the slow-mo on, so this is my only angle, that one. Anyway, let's get ready to fire that one off over there. Let me change some angles, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, well, we're almost ready to shoot this thing off. All I gotta do is turn it on. This is the more dangerous one because it's PVC, so hopefully this don't blow up. Anyway, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, is the igniter bad? I'll change it out real quick. Okay, we've changed out the igniters, and now we're ready to shoot this puppy. 3, 2, 1. Wow, that was pretty anticlimactic. Okay, basically the thing I think went wrong with this thing. This is a way skinnier pipe than what I had for the big rocket, and I use the same drill bit size. So I think that probably was something to do with it. And that first one blew up on me. So anyway, let's head back to the house and I'll wrap this puppy up. Well, everybody, those were some pretty interesting test results. The rocket, the cardboard rocket, blew up, and I'll show you pictures or a little bit of B-roll of after I put everything up. I decided to look for some more pieces, and this is what I've been able to find. But I wasn't able to find any of the fins or anything else like that, so those, or that little bullet casing guide rail, so that thing's probably long gone. But yeah, the cardboard one, I'm pretty sure exploded because when I packed it down the second time, it expanded and kind of split the end cap of it, so that's probably why it blew up. That, and I probably packed it pretty good and tight, and it built up pressure and it just exploded the whole thing, because there's evidence of it exploding before the burn even got to the edge of the case. So, the next ones I build will be out of PVC, and I got 1 inch and 1 3/8 inch PVC that I'm going to make it out of, and the 1 inch PVC should be pretty similar to the cardboard tubes I've been using because they're the same diameter. I just might make it a little bit longer, and that 1 3/8 PVC is wider, so it should produce a little bit more thrust or burn time. Anyway, yeah, the next episode is going to be another rocket video dedicating to someone, a maker that passed away quite a while ago. Let's go ahead and dedicate a video to him of some of the first stuff that I ever watched from it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ready for this next episode. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See you later.